Hello, Abby here of Polyspiral Website Design and Hosting, and you found this video because you've searched for, should I design my own website? And of course, I'm a little biased because I've got a fair amount of experience, but I've made some notes here and I'm going to follow them. Do I design a website? Yes, if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. I build my own websites. So say you've worked for somewhere and you've been hired to build people's websites. Yeah, carry on. You know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, yeah, there's lots of providers out there, but they may not tell you to make sure that you shouldn't clutter a page, or that you shouldn't, because it takes a long time to download and it's hard to find information, or about how to reduce spam, because that can slow down your website, as well as you might miss an important inquiry. But if you do it yourself, there's a learning curve. And will you learn it all? And will the outcome be as effective as you want it to be? Say you're very, very experienced of what you do and you're just starting out. So you've left a company, you're starting your own hair and beauty salon. You're saying, stuff this, I'm going to save £1,500, £2,000, £3,000 on a website. I'm going to do it myself. You go for it. I'll help you. I don't mind. But you may not know all of the things in the background, like I've just mentioned. There's heaps of stuff. I can't give you 26 years of experience in a 5-minute video. And if I started from scratch now, how long would it take me to build a professional website to the standard that I build them at? I don't know, years, 2 or 3 years. But by that time, the technology would have moved on. Because for the last 26 years, I feel like I've been running behind everything and trying to catch up with stuff. But that's the nature of what I do. So you've got to make sure it's mobile friendly. You've got to make sure that you're not going to get bogged down with lots and lots of spam. Usually I wing these videos, but I've actually written down notes because I made several of these videos and they were all rubbish. They were all just waffly things. And this is only mildly less waffly. So I'm sorry about the waffles. I like waffles. So yeah, if you either, like I got an accountant eventually, and I got a bookkeeper. It makes me sound, oh, look, I'm really posh, but I just couldn't do it all. So you either outsource it or you learn it. Can you learn it? Do you have the time to learn it? Do you have the time and maybe even the skill to learn to the point where it's going to work for you the best? So do you get a professional website designer? Do you do it yourself? It boils down to the question of, how seriously do you take your business? Do you really want your website to represent you as best as possible, or are you just going to get something up quickly because you're running an event for a charity and it doesn't really matter? That's completely understandable. It's completely fine. But if you're running a business and you're just starting out, or you've had a really crappy old website and you're like, should I try it again myself, or should I go to a professional? A reputable professional like me, and this isn't meant to be a promotional video, it's meant to be one that you learn from. It's kind of a little bit salesy, but I'm more for empowering people than doing the whole sales thing. But I can't really avoid the whole money or your life mentality here, but you need to, if you're serious about your business, if you really want your business to be found in Google, and you want your business to represent you, want your website to represent you well, then you need to get a professional. You're never going to achieve a professional website that really represents you well. If you're really good at what you do, say you're someone that mends shoes, you're not going to know about website design. Like my car broke down a few months ago and it was awful. I couldn't have fixed it. I got a professional to do it. So having a professional make you represent you as good as you are means that people will find your website online. They will go to your website and go, this guy really knows what he's doing. I really want him to mend my shoes. I'm using that as an example. It could be a bookkeeper or an accountant, like I mentioned. It could be someone that makes custom airplanes. I'm just making these things up. But whatever you do, you want your website to represent you as best as you can, to have your testimonials on there. You might not realize you can do that. There's just lots and lots of stuff that a professional website designer can do that will mean that you will get a return on your investment, even if you spend £2,000 or £3,000. That might sound like a lot of money, and this website, this video will age, but I'm saying you should spend more than £1,000 on a website. I'm going to get lots of comments below from people in Asia going, oh, well, I can do it for £500. Carry on. If you can do a really good job, that's fine. It's completely fine. Should you do it yourself and you need something up and running quickly, I completely understand. But if you want something that's really going to work for you and you are going to get a return on your investment, find a reputable website designer. How do you find one of those? Find someone locally, because you can go and knock on their door if they've done something wrong. Hasn't happened to me yet. Look at their reviews. Are they trusted? Look at their other websites. See what other people say about them. That's what you do with pretty much everything. Don't just go to the next person, first person you come across. Find someone local, but look at their reviews. What are people saying about them? But that goes for everything. And me personally, I provide eco-friendly website hosting so that this is where your website lives. You may not know that that's what websites are. They're a bunch of files that live on a server, which is just a fancy computer. And that lives on a computer and called a server, like I just said. And your website is hosted, my websites are hosted on eco-friendly hosting, 100% renewable energy, so that your website isn't having a negative impact on the planet, which is not maybe something you haven't thought of. So when you have your website hosted somewhere, how do you want that relationship to be with the person hosting the website? I do one-to-one support, so any problems with your website, I'll fix it. All the websites that I provide are SEO optimized. Now, if you've built your own website, you may not know how to optimize your website for Google and Bing. Bing is Microsoft's search engine. You may not know to register your website with Google Search Console and have a sitemap.xml. There's heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff that I can't put into all of this video. But if you just want to get something up and running quickly, by all means, go for it. And if you need any help on that, I'm really, really happy to reply to any comments or direct messages if I can help you. But I would suggest, if you want a website to really promote you as a person, find a decent professional website designer who can really make you stand out and really generate more money than your website, than you paid for your website. So find a professional website designer if you can afford it. I would say that. But any help any of you need, let me know.